Hello everyone, my name's Bob Mitch. Right then, welcome back to some more Star Citizen Gubbins. This is the Xperia Prowler. 3.9 has indeed now gone to live, so if you aren't aware already, you can now jump onto the 3.9 live servers. So everything that was involved with 3.9, so all the food, all the drink, new Babbage, spaceport, the prison, player health effects, so dying to heat and cold and all that cool stuff. Everything is now live, so all the new player status, everything, and it's been great fun so far. I did try to have a live stream for the launch of it last night, and it failed horrifically because I was subject to a lovely bug that quite a lot of people got affected by, where their install kind of broke, so I had to spend most of my free evening re-downloading the entire client just to be able to play, so I was very annoyed. Anyway, I am now in the server, as you can see, and this is the Xperia Prowler. Now, the Prowler is a dropship, one that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a very, very long time. As you can see, it's a very pretty thing. Dropships and the sort of the hardcore military style play aren't my kind of gameplay that I want to play this game for, but I do love seeing the different ships that comes in. Everybody does, and it's an alien ship, so it's going to attract a big crowd that a lot of people are going to like. At the moment, I'm stood at one of the Shubing mining facilities on Microtech. I brought it down here because it's on the daytime side, and the weather effects are a bit less adverse than they normally would be, so I'm not like, you know, freezing to death here. But it is still windy and there is still a lot going on. So let's have a look at this thing. As you can see, it's got these awesome cannons on the side that I'll have footage of them firing off as I'm coming down to the surface. There is a turret on top. You can't quite see it from the angle I'm at now because I'm below it, but it's slaved to the pilot, so when the pilot sits in it, it's forward facing and firing. As you can see, one of the main things about this ship is that it doesn't have any cockpit glass. The whole thing is armoured to make it more formidable. And a lot more scary looking. Searchlights on the front here. These actually, I would say, are some of the better, like, more realistic searchlights that I've seen. The Carrack was given searchlights, but they were kind of added as an afterthought because it didn't have them to start with, which was a kind of bit daft. I would say these are sort of second only to the Reclaimer. The Reclaimer's got the best floodlights in the game, let's face it, because it's got the giant array on the front underneath its cockpit. So. What else have we got? We've got these. This is done by Esperia and it's from the Terran race. So I don't know if these are thrusters. That's what I assume they are, but I'm not 100% sure. The whole thing looks like a moth to me when it's landed because of the way it sits with its kind of abdomen on the floor. But we'll go inside and we'll go and have a look because this ship is very, very, very cool. So you go inside by going to the back here, or you can go to the side. And this is one way in, so you can go up the ramp here. Or you can come along to the side here, and this thing has these 8 doors along the side, which I will demonstrate shortly, and then it's got these doors here, so we'll go in this way. As you can see, there is the pilot's chair. I have the screen on at the minute, more about that in a moment. It's got more seats along the side here, so you can carry 3 crew here, 1 here. You've got a gun rack here. And then on this side here you have places for your strike team per se. So these things here are like harnesses, so I'll jump into one. I don't know why it's not letting me jump in any other one. Can I get in this one? All I want to do is get in one. Let me get in one. Enter seat. There we go. That was far more arduous than needed. So as you can see, it kind of suits you into this harness thing here to keep you safe and steady whilst this thing's in flight before you order your strike team to jump in and attack someone. And when you do, the pilot can deploy all these doors. They have oxygen shields so that the atmosphere within the ship is maintained and your strike team isn't instantly vented outside of the ship as soon as these doors open, because that would be awkward. Each one of the strike team members has their own door, bar the 3 dudes at the front there who may have to use the other door. And we've got 2 more here, 2 more here. These guys don't have their own door. They have to use the rear landing ramp, as you can see, which is where we came in the first place. Also having an oxygen shield to maintain the environment inside. Go ahead and close this up, and the whole thing closes. Very, very, very strange architecture in here. I'm sure to kind of evoke some kind of like bird's nest structure, as the Terrabin are like an avian kind of species, or what's left of them anyway. I think they were, if I remember the Star Citizen lore correctly, I'm not all that clued upon it, but they were like nearly wiped out, if I remember right. Nevertheless, we shall go into the cockpit, which is one of the more cool things about this ship and its kind of main gimmick. So, the pilot slides forward. When there is a guy in this seat, I don't think I can show it from where I'm sat currently because my view doesn't quite wrap around that much, but the door behind the pilot closes and seals. You cannot get to the pilot once he's in his chair here. Now the ship is currently powered on, however when it's powered off, or you go to an option down to the right hand side here, you can turn the viewport off. And now the true interior of the ship is revealed. So this thing is, as I said, fully armoured. It has no cockpit as such, no canopy rather. So there's no glass canopy. It's all armour. The Terran ship here has a very special gimmick where it's like just screens, special screens connected to what I imagine is some very special or very weird outside cameras that allows you to fly the ship and turns the thing into, well, a simulation of a regular cockpit. It looks kind of like an attack helicopter from this angle, from the way the very thin struts I know is a heavy trigger word, struts go across the canopy here. So what we'll do is, I just moved the flight stick there, I don't want to do that, so we'll centre this back and we'll turn the engines on. And this thing pops up. I've noticed that this thing goes up and down very, very quickly, so it's a little bit skittish to fly. So when you first get it, it's in VTOL mode, so this thing does have a VTOL mode to fly in. When I press N, I was already in flight mode, so it switches to the configuration that is its flight mode. If you press J, that's my phone, it configures to its VTOL mode, so it's like ready to land, like it's got its landing gear down, but it's not got very good sort of forward motion because it loses its main forward thrusters. So you press J again, and it switches and we get the thrusters that are on the ends of the wingtips there to make it a lot faster. And now we can sort of throw it about a bit. So, visibility in this thing's very good for what it is. Like I said, cockpits, or rather gunships and dropships and things aren't my kind of meat and potatoes of the game. I'm much more into my sort of exploration, science and trading, but still very cool nonetheless. Firing action with these very, very specific new cannons that have been added specifically for this ship. They overheated rather fast, so power usage in this thing isn't great, but then again it is a dropship and it is not a combat fighter by any regard. If we can find the appropriate button, I can open the exterior to show the dropship mode, and you can see everything deployed. All the doors open for the guys to jump out, even the one on the side with the ladder, and the rear drop door, ready for your strike team to jump out when you're close to the ground. Probably not a good idea opening it at this kind of height in case you've got any stupids on board and they decide to jump out anyway. Close everything up. There we go. So, this ship has one other cool little trick, which I'll demonstrate for you now. So this ship, being an alien ship, as all the alien ships in Star Citizen do, they have very, very cool quantum effects, and the Xperia Prowler is no exception. So we're zooming away from Calliope, back towards Microtech. And you can see it's got this almost very Stargate-like quality with lens flares and sort of plasma flares and all kinds of things all over the place. So one of the cooler quantum effects for the later ships. It'd be interesting to see if they kind of include it for the races, or you know how they change it to accommodate to different races that we already have in game. So like we have the Banu's green one now, and we have the Xian. I really hope I can pronounce that right at some point, because I know I'm going to get it wrong. The blue one that comes with the Cartu Al that we've seen. So yeah, just a quick look at the Xperia Prowler. I don't own this, I haven't bought one. As I said, it's not one of my main gameplay concerns within the game. What I have done is the same thing that you guys can do if you're playing. Whenever a new ship comes out from a new launch, if you subscribe with the Imperator subscription, so the higher subscription, you get to fly one for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks after the main patch launch, you get to fly the new ship. So yeah, I thought I'd take advantage of it just to show you guys how cool this thing looked and how the new ship works, and the little gimmicks that come with it. I say gimmicks not because I'm not a fan. I do like the hollow screen cockpit, and I love the interior, I love the design, I love the very hawkish, like bird nesty feel of this thing that it's trying to evoke from its race. However, taking it with a pinch of salt, this thing is very, very expensive for what it is. This ship is £422 non-war bond. I can't remember what the war bond price is. It's obviously a little bit cheaper because war bond always is, because it's new money. If you were buying this thing with help from store credit, however, it's £422. That comes to about $440, $450. That is Anvil Carrack money, and you can do and enjoy a lot more with an Anvil Carrack than you can with this thing. Not that I'm saying this thing's bad, it's just, you know, the whole beauty's in the eye of the beholder thing with these ships. Whether you want to spend the money to enjoy these looks, or maybe it's your kind of ship because you are a military focused person. In synchronizers, I know there will be people who adore this thing and its looks and how it flies and what it can do. So I'm not hating on them, it's just my personal opinion is that I think it's a lot of money. If you are buying it, you don't have to buy it. It will be available in-game eventually, as everything else is. But as it is, the pledge for it is a lot of money for what this ship is. So aside from that, I like it. I like its sort of gunmetal-y black main colour. There isn't like a colour variant of these. As you can see, it's got gold accents around it, kind of like the new Executive 600i. Kind of would like to get my hands on one of those and fly around just to see the cool skin, but I'm not spending $25,000 to be able to get the pledge to get it. So yeah, quick thoughts on the Xperia Prowler. I do hope you guys enjoyed. I'm definitely going to be doing some more 3.9 content, because now I have a lovely new computer that can run it very, very well, as I hope you can see. So hopefully a lot more live streams with the sync guys. We may have some calamities coming this weekend that I can film for you or stream for you, and I will see you all next time. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.